Top Hat's gone walkies again. Thank you for the resub. Hope you're having a good night. Oh, I'm not in a cutscene anymore. Oh, hello. I wonder if another achievement for throwing shit at people. Yeah, you see what I'm doing, right? It didn't mean too much, did it? Mr. Frog, can I speak to you? Hello, Crab, you looking right at me. So there's no achievement for that.
Hey!
Tambo,
Minambla! Yabo, de tambo.
te tambo, nuka te.
I like the Simlish sort of that they speak.
Yabo, de babru. Babru.
Well, I've seen that. It's right down here. Will it smash if I throw it at his face? Just give everything by throwing it at people. I don't want the pillow. No. Oh, I dropped it and he's doing something.
Tambo.
Oh, yes, this guy get these back.
Nuka. Argalu.
And that's an achievement. I don't know what he said to do next. If it gave me any clue, I was too focused on the achievement. Oh, there's a fun file. Guess I'll go raid your home. Can I, no? It's not E to open it, is it? Nope. There's no indication. Okay. Come here. Oh, it went right underneath me. I've got to fly a bit more. Let's see what's over here. Do I have a map? No. I thought M would be a map, but it's... Ooh. There's like a pretty thing that flew over here, or did I just break that? Am I meant to be breaking these?
Olona.
It doesn't let me pick up the pretty... Maybe there's an achievement if I break them all. Need rope or something. Oop. Just wood. Get ready to steal this. Oh, it's nothing.
Ladru.
No, see, I'm proud of that. Hello,
Te
sir.
olona. Olona.
Madenu. Biru.
Perfect. Bird. You have to kill a bird. I saw a seagull earlier. Would that do? Can I go for a swim? Nope. Oh, okay. So if I ever need a quick teleport back, I just drown myself.
Ano.
This is the building. I have bees. Bees. This just make me go fast. Round the bees. Oh, I'm making it somewhere. I just auto run everywhere I park. going? Maybe it wasn't the brightest idea to pick up the bees. Maybe I need to save myself. There we go. I saved myself. Right, let's put out the fire. Yes, yes, I know.
Lu
it's
barda.
hard.
Gano.
Yes, yes. I'm way ahead of you.
Gano.
Yeah, I got it built. I need an actual... I can't just sleep on the floor like last time or in the fire. Have to be... Oh, now I can. I could just...
Te tambo.
If I just sleep in the fire? No, I just have to have my plant beside me. All times. It is my child. I must watch over it and not put it in the fire. Now we sleep in the fire. Oh! What the hell was that? And did it steal something? A dream of still image. With the bees again. Bees are alive. The hell did I miss out on when I was getting off to sleep? There's something coming after me from here. I thought there were shadows of people then. Oh, I can just build another fire. So I can just sleep anywhere. That's what this implies, right? I just have to have the basics and then a uniform. I guess we'll find out. Oh, have a fire in the daytime though. And if I get lost, I can just jump in the ocean. Hello. Look like
Prendelo.
big water bears with something. Oh. Can I not grab the fruit? Oh. You want a snack, maybe?
What?
Can I give them a snack? Oh, I don't got kind of something different. I think I can. I think I'll have to be boosted up in something. Oh, I got one. Anyone want a fruit? Anyone want that? Here you go. You got a fruit here. Oh, he's so big now. Oh, I can pick him up now. Hello, little grub. Achievement further. I don't know what I'm meant to do with this, but at least I know it does something. There's a bird or something over there. Do I need to give it to the bird, maybe? Birds with bugs and grubs and things. Oh shit. It's okay. Oh, there's a bird over here. It just might trick my brain. I still don't know what to do with this guy.
What?
This is my new pet now. He comes with me. We don't jump in the ocean. We go explore with our new friend, Big Grub. I didn't interrupt you. I wanted to know if I could put you inside. Oh, what the fuck? Hello? Would you like this? Oh. You want it? Oh, well, it's gone in the ground now. Oh, oh, that's the thing that came after me before. Does it just go back and forth instead? I don't think I can get it right now. Kind of, I can't really see it, and I don't know how. I don't think there's a way to change the camera. I think I'm always in this perspective. Oh, hello. You are friend? It's a doggy. Oh, I got a friend. Oh, you're playing a much bigger picture now.
Depando.
Yes. Well, that was fun. Unless it paints. They make clothes go everywhere? No. They have their fidgets. I don't know what to do with my new dog, Finch. You want to play fetch? Is that what you want to do? You want to play fetch? Can't do anything. Okay, you doggy friend. I'm just gonna chill with me now. Oh, what's this? I have to do a race? Yeah. Just random logs. Does he just follow me now forever? Because I hope so.
Depando.
I see.
Bandone. Bandu.
Ona there.
Ah, okay, that's what I need you for. You come in. Yeah, come on. We're gonna go catch another. Oh, is this not the right color?
Depando.
Oh,
There, Ona.
oh, blue one. One. Or a bluey covenant. It can also be pronounced. I can sleep at any color. Okay. I'm gonna shortcut. Kind of shaking there. Fix the ship. Thank you. I remember what these do.
Balu.
Oh, it's another bear. Is he scared? Oh, he's looking for me. He's lost. No.
Balu there. Ido, Ido.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. Balu there.
I don't want my link. Ooh. Let me fly out over there. Oh, I see. Oh, that thing. Oh shit, well,
Deo.
let's follow this way. That later, maybe one of them wants to sell. It's because it's raining. Happy. Hello. Happy. Happy. No. Happy. No, Happy. That's a lot of statue. You won't have that. Hello?
Balu no.
Well, it won't let me interact with the noise moving
Balu.
Happy here. Happy here. There's a doggy here.
Balu. Balu.
Oh, this is from Bubblegum specifically. See.
Bebero. Lubono. Bandu.
Is this all the frog? The frog that wants the feathers? Oh, actually in the house. He's swearing at me. He has cups, so thank you, good sir. Mine now. Says something about
Bárbaro.
royalties.
Daban.
Mr. Blobby. Oh, dude, let's do that. He's just looking for the dog again. Well, at least we can tell which one is the fruit frog and the speech bubble with the purple.
Paranas.
Ah, yes, the
No,
crows.
Malade.
Blue things. I don't know where the hell I am, so I don't know how close I am to blue.
Denande.
I guess not when it's raining. Okay. Is you that wants the song?
Pigs are
Yeah.
not.
See it somewhere. There it is. Deliver. How do you like this on the moon? This is what everyone wants. There he is. Bubbies.
Jaga.
Is that it? Okay, I've just finished helping you. Oh,
Barando.
wood fix the bridge. Whee! Oh, Oh, he leaves with the tail.
Ido, Ido. Ah! Fernando!
One. Two. Eventually at the cliff, come on. Somebody. I mean, all they would do is land in water, right? Because all that's down there is water and yeah, fish. Yeah, I'm definitely not affected by this freezing cold water. Oh, ooh. I didn't realise that was the edge of the world. I thought I was going up more hill. Hello there, how are you up to? Not as man.
Levando.
Dove?
Yeah, well, nothing comes out in the vein. I can't do anything about that. I can't just take it as it is. There we go. Who wants it? I'm so hungry, look at him. I don't know if he probably ate it. Or maybe he did. Not bouncing anymore. Oh, he's popped up to have another lump. And finish it off, won't it?
Eh! Ona there!
Oh. Do I have to be at such a specific angle? Let's see. Hello? Your frog dance. How are you doing? Happy almost 1 AM. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And I'm struggling. I think I have to just be an inch higher. And then let me do it without jumping. Oh, there we go. I just have to do the perfect angle. Actually, okay. Aha! Aha! I don't know if I was meant to do this. No, you can't get me. Don't give me away. Is he made a wooden frog? Is that a head I can use for the scarecrow? And then, you can't see me. Yeah, that didn't work, did it? No. I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not here. Bye.
Nanda!
Well, I'm here now.
Verone.
I'm just attacking the frog down there.
Kambu? Vedo no.
Does look like a head I can use. Oh yeah, I don't need it. I want to head up that thing. Keep that up. Oh. It does look like a head I could take and put it on a scarecrow. Yeah, I still gotta do it, but I don't know who that is now. Where's the chicken though? Oh, it's running away. Okay. That's kind of fitting actually. Okay. I don't remember where I put that fucking letter, but I now know where it needs to go. I won't be running around aimlessly. There we go. Hey doggy, come on, adventure time. There we go. Ooh. Not a letter back. Okay. Off we go, taking this one. Ooh. I like how the face is also the noise. Need to get that head. Aha! It's mine now. I'll put it on the scarecrow in a minute. I'll see what this one wants.
Vedono. Hey. Nanda.
I need a whatever that is. Right then. Also, I don't know if I've seen that one before. I want to talk to this guy real quick. Oh. Nothing in particular. Okay. Is his tongue always stuck out? Is he okay? I'm gonna put this on a scarecrow. Like, what does that sign mean? Oh, here we go. I like the popping noise. It reminds me of a Neopets game. I'm trying to remember which Neopets game it reminds me of. A game with fruit, maybe. Oh god, I remember now. I can't remember the name of the Neopets game, but it's one of the islands. The Tiki Island game where you have to like, it's like groups of fruit, of free fruit will fall from like the sky in different combinations and you have to get them to match up so they merge together. And I used to love making really big ones. So I just wanted to see what the biggest fruit could be. And then eventually you get rid of them. There was like potions that would fall that would have random effects, like to change all the fruit, like to randomize it all. I need a flower or something from this axolotl, I can't tell. what it means.
Nana de.
I think you've got a head.
Una de.
I don't. More doggies, all the doggies. Where's one with goggles? Which one of you's got goggles, eh? Yeah? What do you want me to do? What's this? Oh. Is it a race? Is that what's happening? This way? Would it be better if I had bees? I don't know what it wants from me. Like this? Am I right to smash this up? I don't know what it wants me to do. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I've not seen anything else like. Yeah, what do you want? Can I talk to you, or is it just... There we go.
Gala.
You also want ice and whatever that is. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Oh, to the mountains? So I have to go back to the frozen area. What about you? Do you want to go in there? It won't let me. Sorry. I've lost that cup now. I don't know what I'm meant to do with it. I'm stuck against the wall. No. Someone's ill. Okay, what's next on the agenda? I still have no clue what I gotta do with that axolotl. I'm not sure. Two of them want me to get something frozen. I kind of lost the cup up there. It just lives up there now. I need to find another head. I don't know how to get the one off the woman. I wonder what we're missing. Oh. Treasure. There's just the water house there. I really wish I had a map. It would be really useful since I keep getting lost. I want to pick up this one. But at this point it's just leading me somewhere. Hello? What's this now? I don't know what this is. Oh, I thought it was gonna crack into something. You know what this is? You off into your house? Oh, I thought they would open a door like in Animal Crossing, but oh, this is where this guy sleeps. Yes, you love the artist. Well, okay, throw this at your head. Ha! He just moves. Okay then. Oh fuck, I forgot to remove the surprise. I don't have any surprises left. Oh, I guess they died. What about you?
Ulana.
Ooh. Deona?
I don't know what that is though.
Delana. Nana de.
I want you to give me head. Give me the head.
Deona?
Yeah, I see what you.
Ulana.
I got an achievement.
Deona?
Oh, I have to just spam asking them things to get
Delana.
the hammer. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to teleport all the way back here. I just want to search that part of the island. I hope I didn't lose that. I might need that for later. Okay. Kill that. And don't go for a swim. Okay. Old beach. Flowers.
Madame Bo.
So I need it to be raining to bring them a different kind, right? Is that what it's asking me? Because the other things I've seen for quests are things that look like sunflowers but are not coloured like them. Oh, oh, hello, hello. Okay, we're going on an adventure. I'll come back for that. We found the dog with the little goggles. I found it. But I'm going back for that head. Oh, I guess he follows me now. Maybe I could have killed two birds and just carried the head instead. Do you want to go back and get stuck and trapped in that ditch? Follow me! There we go. There we go. Your crops will be saved in no time. I just gotta wait for rainfall now. That looks like a grave. There we go. They look like something else. And this is what the Axolotl wanted, so I'll go deliver this. Deliver this onto them. Nice one. I can go help the fisherman now. It looks like it's got like a little skull or a face on the end of it. I'm chilling over here. Don't follow. Thank you. I just gotta figure out what that other frog wants. Where do I go, Cotton Eye Joe? What's this way? Death is this way. Just going to explore. Whoa. Is that what I put in it? What is this? Wait. Do I pop that in here? No. Maybe I put it in the, that bridge I saw. Okay, well I'm gonna go see if I can put this in the gate that I saw on the other island. This. Yeah, it has the same glowing stuff. Ooh. There's more of these. The platform gonna get tricky now. Oh shit. What was that? Why did I just have no footsteps for a bit? It was like I was gliding. Bone. Who wants a... Oh, ice! Maybe that's what the guy wants. Oh wait. This will be actually perfect. Hello. Wait, I don't put them there, do I? Oh shit, is it melting? Oh no. We're on time business. Oh, I just got here. The heck am I carrying? What is this? Wait. Do I have to put this on the little frog statue? Ooh. Okay. Is that Aurora Borealis? Okay, so I guess I'll need this at some point for something. Frozen sunflower. It's pretty. I guess they turn into regular sunflowers. Whee! Once they get down there. I imagine I might need it for something. So I'm gonna... Yeah. That seemed like the right thing to do. Whee! Oh. So I'll cross over into this bit. Pop this by my camp. Pop my little guy to sleep. And then I think I'm gonna end stream. I am quite stuck and I don't want the entire stream to be, oh, pause the game to read a walkthrough. I kind of want to try and figure out most of it for myself. At the same time, I feel like I've hit a roadblock. I don't remember who on earth wanted this from me, or if anyone wanted it from me and I'm just Mandela affecting myself. So I'll pop it down by all of my treasures. Bees. Oh! This is what it happened in the other game. You throw it and it turns into something. There we go. A collection of treasures. The grave again. Maybe I've reached the end. Oh, no, there's stuff on the grave. They planted something to grow.